Bienvenidos y bienvenidas al podcast de inventario.pro, un espacio donde explicamos historias reales de negocios que combinan las ventajas del mundo digital con el sector automoción. Esto es Motor Digital.
Hello, this is the third chapter of a mini-series dedicated to analyze the impact in automotive retail. This is the third chapter. We are again today with Jens-Peter Sjöberg. Hello, Jens-Peter, again. How are you?
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you very much. You were participating in the first chapter. The first chapter was trying to set up the playground of what is AI in automotive retail, what means that AI revolution. It's a chapter that if you follow this podcast, you will find it some episodes before this one. The second chapter was dedicated to analyze the current situation and the use cases of this technology and this fundamental and disrupting technology that we are experiencing in automotive retail. Looking at the specific use cases, one by one, we were dissecting what's going on. And finally, Jens-Peter gave us very good advices, 3 advices in the short term for each one, which you will find it very useful if you listen to the episode. I will not make I will not unveil the secret, but there are very, very good 3 advices to follow up in the short term. But now we are going to jump to the future. What's the timeline of the future, Jens-Peter? How do you consider in AI the future? It's going to be, I don't know, months, years? What's the horizon?
So I think we have to ask ourselves how will the developments look like? And we've seen a lot of progress the last couple of years, obviously. So I think this is a hard one. I've had my predictions when it comes to specific industries and so on. But if we look at the big picture in society, it will mean automation, like everywhere.
Okay.
And this is something. How will that affect humanity? Well, it could be really comfortable, right? Really, really good, and it could be really, really bad in the sense of job opportunities. So that's a bit an overview how I see the future.
But you cannot put a time frame. You could see that's going to be 6 months, 1 year, but or maybe you even don't know that it's
already happening, right? So. Like I told you in the earlier episode, Phyron today makes 700, 800,000 videos a month. A workforce for doing that amount of videos is obviously huge, right? So it's already happening on a big scale, but it's happening behind doors. So what will happen is that humans will not really reflect on this, but actually start using it more and more. So it will be adapt in society in a way that's going to be comfortable for the human. You know what I mean? So, and there will be effects, obviously, also the negative. Yeah, but
let's say then in a few years. What
I would say in a few years.
In a few years, we don't know how many, but in a few years, there will be.
So that there are studies, and there are, like, for example, JP Morgan, I think it was, had a report about this, and it said it will reduce 90%. The jobs will reduce to 90% within 25 years. I think it was. So the job opportunities that we see today. This is also something that's really not talked about. Is the job opportunities that will come with AI?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, let's say that we are going to try to look at the future in 5 years the most.
Yeah.
Why do you say that society... Okay, first of all, a quick recap. Jens-Peter Sjöberg is the co-founder of Phyron, one of the most prominent AI companies dedicated to to personalized video content made with AI, a very important company in the automotive sector that is already generating, you heard it well, it's near on the road to 1 million videos per month of cars, all of them automated for more than 4,000 customers, and in many countries all around the world. So you are listening to a chapter with one of the creators of one very successful product based on AI. So thank you again, Jens-Peter. But let me back to your question, Jens-Peter.
Yeah.
Why do you say that it could be really, really good or really, really bad? What would be the point in the balance that makes you go one way or another way in terms of...
Now you're getting me to deep water. So the thing is that this will impact humanity the way, and especially now the Western society, because that's where the compute is. It's in China too, but let's focus on the Western society. So it will, if you look at the industrial age, what happened then is going to happen now, but 10 times, because the automation and everything that is actually digital today, which is everywhere, like it's in your fridge,
Yes.
Everything will be automated. What does this mean? This means that we will have to rethink not just how we spend our days. We will have to rethink the way we see economy, the way we maybe we're not going to work for time anymore. Maybe there's others. So I think there's going to be huge impact now we're talking a bit more than 5 years, obviously, but I think, it's a progressive kind of, it's something that's happening right now, and it's happening, and over the 5 years, I think we will see things happening. I mean, if you look at the creative industry, for example, it's the effect there has already started. So yeah, that's sort of, it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to be a huge change.
In the first chapter of this miniseries, you were mentioning that there was some kind of need of democratizing the access to AI and the use of AI. Do you think that this is happening, or it should happen because it's not happening and it should change for the good of humanity, or what the concentration of the big tech companies in the power of AI is something that we are experiencing already? What do you think it should happen to have a better society?
Well, this is such a deep question too. It goes into this. For us, you and I, we live in the EU, right? I think EU, that the amount they invest in this is just too little.
Okay.
And that's where it comes down to big, on a bigger scale, like politicians and actually states, what they invest in this is way too little to what the impact will be in 10 years. And we can take it as far as saying when AGI is actually happening, when we get that, the state that has AGI will rule the world, like the first state, and so it's connected. So I would say today it looks like it's more a company that will have that power than a state, if you look at how it's invested. But obviously, for example, Google is also owned by the state. Facebook is owned by the state. So it's obviously things like, and in China you have the similar kind of setup. That's everything is owned by the state. So that's I think that, I mean, it is it is democratic today because you have access. So you have access to the best, to what we know of the best LLM models, right? But as I've said before, like in my post and so on, what we're doing now is actually training those models. We are sort of the big company's data set. And this goes down from everything from buying a car to getting mental health. So the spectrum of what's actually fed into these models today is it's humanity, I would say.
Okay.
And that's something that it is today. It is a democratic setup because we can use it, but you still have to pay for it, right? So, but we can use it. But what we're doing is feeding it with actually data. So we're paying twice. So we're paying it double today. What happens when that is closed? When that door is closed, the model is by itself. So those are the kind of questions I think we should ask ourselves today. And we're actually paying for the development, sort of.
Regarding the two possibilities that the impact has got on the human activity, which is augmentate your capabilities or substitute your capabilities. Mm-hmm. Do you think that one will dominate the other? It's gonna be the both trends combining, or will dominate the substitution of the human intervention?
I agree with that setup today. So because we're already seeing it, right, on those two. Mm-hmm. But I think, as I said before, I think we need to rethink how we live, because it's gonna be substitute. It's going to replace, and that's just how it is. So how will that affect everything else? So and as I said, it's already happening. So it's about adapting to when it's subjective. It's actually when it's replacing. It's actually the work will be in adapting to that change, I think, and we will see a lot of adapting happening towards repetitive tasks and things being automated and replacing jobs. That's going to be the big task, is to adapt, I think.
Okay.
And use it the best way.
I see your point. If we go down now to the automotive retail industry in a few years, what's your description of a dealership in a few years because of the AI impact?
So we will, we've already seen a huge change the last couple of years with what we mentioned in the earlier episodes, like the use of chatbots and faster sales, sort of. That's where the growth has been in the industry. I would say the major growth today. It's actually implementing these things. When it comes to the showroom itself, I think we'll see new technology definitely happening, and I think it will be sort of more and more optimized in the sense of if I'm looking for a car, I will get that recommendation straight to me as a person without even doing things. I also think that today it's really easy to see if it's simple. You don't need AI to see if a person is hunting for a car, for example. And I think that whole chain will be redefined, and it will be redefined in layers. It will be redefined as a customer, the customer journey, the inventory journey, the ordering journey, and then it will be layered up in a much more structured way. And in the inventory, in there we will have what we mentioned before, the data. Like the data will be structured. You will be able to set a price that actually will make your ROI immensely better, and so on. I think those.
In any case, always with the application of automation, due to the data that you have and data that you can get, your own data, first party data from outside, and AI working in the process of automating, but even automating decisions. Do you see that in a few years dealers will have less people selling, less people buying, less people making interventions?
On the floor, you mean? Like on the
Yes.
floor sell? Yeah. Yes, I would say so. I would say so. Yes. But that doesn't necessarily that the business itself has less people, but the positions will be different, I would say.
Okay, Jens-Peter, thank you for these reflections. Very interesting. And let's go back to the, like we did in the other chapter. It went so well. You gave advices in the short term for car dealerships and automotive professionals. But in the midterm, long term, in a few years, what could be your three best advices for them in order to absorb and adapt to the impact of the AI in automotive retail?
I go back to the first one because that's the most important one, and that's AI fluency. Like the whole dealership should put their heads around AI and what's out there. How could I use this to improve? That's the most important one. And then also building partnerships, I think, and collecting data sources. So building partnerships in the sense of what data do I need to get the outcome I want, sort of. And those partnerships will be so valuable in the future, in coming mid-long term. And also, I think with that said, that includes the third one, and that's about thinking platforms. What can I like platforms in a holistic way? So holistic intelligence. So you can with the first two, you can actually use those two to make the platforms around you more valuable, I would say. Those are the best things, I think, to think about in mid and long term. Then there are other ones on a longer term that I would obviously put up, but these are the ones to think about and really focus on in I would say after 18 months from now. It's really important.
And do you have any clue or any idea what should be done?
In the long term? Or
yes.
Well, yeah, it's adapting these ones, and when you do that, you will get progressively into the other ones automatically, I would say. So it's a yeah, it's not an actual tip, but it's adapting to this will be the long-term goal, I would say.
I think if I have to summarize the three advices you gave, it was, let's say, embrace the AI with your people inside your dealership. That's clear. Building partnerships. What do you mean with building partnerships? What kind of partners are the most suitable for a car dealership? It's a consulting firm. It's a data company.
It could be a data company, it could be a content provider, it could be more or less anything that gives you data and the leverage to reach out, I would say. And this applies in all aspects of the business. It could be could be the monthly report. What partnerships can I adapt to get this monthly report better? I mean, that's just one thing. Or there are so many aspects. So I think it's not just about the car itself. You have to look a bit wider on the whole business, and that's where you should find the sort of the data points. What kind of partner should I look for? And the partnership doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be a provider, but finding those data points for your business to build it on data and AI is, I think, a crucial point.
And when you say holistic intelligence, what do you mean exactly?
Well, get the whole overview intelligence of what can I do with specific data points. So, for example, how if a monthly report looks really bad, what made it look bad? What made the numbers bad in this report? That's what I mean. With the correct data source around that report, you can find out, right? And this
but using AI.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can find out what is this is long term, mid to long term. Remember that. So it's obviously not tomorrow, but this is how it's going to work. Where a report itself will be analyzed in the sense, and the holistic intelligence is getting all the data points. What's affecting this report? Why are the sales dropping? And you can actually get the specific numbers on why that's happening in a more or less 100% correct way. And that's what I mean about holistic and intelligence.
When we were talking in the first chapter and the second chapter about AI agents, there was like a kind of feeling in my head. I was thinking about an AI agent. It's deciding in an autonomous way a mission that you gave the agent. The idea is the agent will decide what to do, or they will give, even if you got the last button to say yes, buy it, or yes, sell it, the all the decision in the intermediate steps will be done autonomously. Do you think that a dealership will have this kind of info about what's next to buy to be sold? If you are a buy and sell dealer, a car dealer, and you buy cars and sell cars, and you just sold 3-5 cars, do you think that AI will tell you what are the 3 next cars to buy, or the next 5?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
And,
we did it.
And also the price that should be paid.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
That's excuse me, but this is a buyer manager.
Exactly. And I think it's gonna happen faster sooner than later than we think. Yeah. And I mean, we were touching on it on the earlier episodes, and that's the profile, right? My online profile is a huge thing, and it will become immensely important in every, like in the whole spectrum of business, I would say. What's happening today and has been happening for the past 10 years is obviously everybody's talking about privacy, right? So that's been narrowing in our profile down, but this, I think, will get opened up a bit, and you will have I can actually choose if I want to become a profile. Once you choose that, and that will be something that's used, it's gonna be a fully automated buying journey in every situation. This is how I see it, at least. And it's really like it's really hard to get your head around how that would look, but it's definitely going to happen. I could just give an example fast. So instead of having your way of moving on sites, in media, or on the internet, instead of just having that data, because that's what's out there today. I mean, I've got the interest, and this data will change, right? During a 10-year period, it will change. But if you apply, for example, psychological profile in 6 steps over this data, what will happen then? So there are levels to this that are not tested. I've actually done tests on it myself, and it's the outcome is it's just amazing. And I think that's what we'll see.
Let's say that what you are saying more or less is that you tell to an AI, my family needs a new car. Tell me what car?
No.
No,
No, you don't even. You don't.
where to find it?
The whole. No. The whole point is automation. So the AI will know what kind of car, when I need a car. It's not my decision, and this will happen in many areas. I think in a human life, we will not even worry about getting the new car, and the new car will probably be in a subscription anyway. So it's just up on top of your monthly cost. So the car will stand up on your driveway the day when it should stand there.
Yeah, but Jens-Peter, but the one that pays is not the AI. It's my pocket. It's my family.
Yeah, but there will be models on that. That's not, I think, an issue. Then there is the interest. You have a practical usage and you have an interest usage, like a hobby more.
Okay.
And those are going to be separated more, I think. So the usage will be a cheap subscription kind of car, and then the hobby, that could be a 60s Chevy. That doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I understand what you're pointing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna change a lot because
I think so. I think it is. Yeah. But this is long term, obviously, long term. Yeah.
Long means the horizon we are speaking about, five up to 5.
I would say that for those predictions, it's far ahead. But I mean, we already see subscriptions and parts of this happening.
Okay, let's go back to Phyron a little bit. As far as you are so involved as a co-founder of this company and video creator, how do you tackle on with Phyron this kind of trends that will go in the mid-long term? Where to head your company? I guess that every partner of dealers like you are a partner of a dealership because you help them today with your products. But when you reflect about Phyron, what next to do because of the impact of AI at your own company, what's your mindset? What do you try to identify what's next to do, and we have to wait for this, but we have to go right now for that? What's your approach? If you can explain something without giving away secrets, but how do you do that?
There are different sides to it because there is a commercial side to that question.
Yes.
Then there is an innovation side, and then there is even a more kind of IDs side. But so I think you have to weigh all these three into the commercial product, right? And that always ends up can we do this innovation with the quality we want for the money for a feasible price for the customer? So that's sort of, to me, those to weigh the technology, quality and price is actually a huge part to this, because the IDs we have, the IDs is not the problem right now, and also utilizing all the things that are out there. I see it more in the sense of all of these three things: quality, innovation, and commercials at this today. So, but does that answer the question?
Yes, in a way, yes, because we at Inventario.pro, we are facing the same issues. I mostly agree with everything you said in these 3 episodes. I have my personal views, but are really, really strictly personal views on the impact in the society. But I think for the dealership, it's going to change the way that some technologies, like at that moment, internet was changing parts of the industry where I was working. I was in the classified industry. There was print magazines. It came a new technology in a very strong way. At the beginning, it was perceived as a toy, something that who could look for an apartment, who could look for a car in internet. What a silly question, when the best experience you can have is going to the dealership. And look where we are now. We are almost doing the whole process without putting a foot in the dealership until the very end. If we do that, because even you can make the whole process in a digital way. So I've seen that before, that there is a thing coming on an industry and transforming it completely. There's another push in 2007 with the birth of the iPhone and the really changing feel of the mobile apps and smartphones. That's another way. But then when it came the AI, at the beginning I had the perception it was very similar to when those three impacts came. But some people say that it's not even like that. It's before and after electricity. Even more radical. It's you didn't have electricity. Now you have electricity. Imagine the world with electricity when you don't have electricity. You cannot, because you cannot comprehend what will be.
It's hard to. Yeah, it's
so
hard to. Yeah, it is, and I mean, if you look at the artificial intelligence,
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that and say where is the end in intelligence? So there is no cap, right? This could be a model that can be trained on and become generally intelligent 10,000 times more intelligent than Einstein. I mean, just those, when you think about it, that's pretty strange. Yeah.
And that makes my company, or I guess your company as well, to play with the short term, mid term, and long term. And the long term, almost you don't look at it because, it's out of your reach, out of your comprehension, and you focus on short and mid term. And short and mid term, the challenges that you mentioned in the last chapter were very interesting, because you need to keep the cost. But as you mentioned, and trying to make a recap of what you said in the last episode, it will keep the cost but increase the quality.
Yeah.
And that will be for a long. I have the same perception as well. And I will close this mini series. It's been hard for me because I'm not a native English speaker. You are Nordics. Nordics have a better level of English in usual. Yes, as in general, you have better, but even the topic, it's hard to elaborate correctly the questions. I hope this episode has been interesting for anyone that is listening, and especially very helpful for people that work in the industry we are committed to make better, which is the automotive industry. Phyron is doing an excellent job. Congratulations, because when we present your products, there is a wow effect because of the video. But Jens-Peter, as you said, I can give you concrete examples we are experiencing with some customers that with AI-generated videos, there are more leads. More leads means directly that car will be sold earlier. That means return for the dealership. And that's one example, very concrete example of what Phyron does. And you have mentioned at least almost 10 known use cases of AI that will generate value. So imagine the combined value of AI in dealerships. This is what it's challenging us to do things different and better and to present solutions. I like very much your point of view. I really, speaking from my heart, I really think that you focus the problem of AI very similar of the way that I do, because it's a
double-sided.
Yes,
double-sided.
It's always double-sided, and thinking about society, thinking about the shift of power that it's going on, and then looking at automotive retail, it makes a lot of sense what you say and the projections you've made. Thank you very much for your participation, Jens-Peter Sjöberg. I hope to see you soon in person. It's maybe in some events we will meet, and thank you very much for your participation.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me.
And for all of you that are following this podcast, thank you very much. And I hope you have found this interesting. And for a deeper understanding of what's going on, we will leave some notes and articles and posts about what we've been speaking regarding the impact of AI in automotive retail. Thank you very much.
Inventario.pro es una plataforma de servicios digitales específicos para profesionales de la automoción. Te ofrecemos el mejor hub de anuncios para la multipublicación de tu stock. Nuestros bots para que ahorres tiempo o generes más negocio usando automatizaciones. Además, somos especialistas en crear webs de motor muy fiables y de primera calidad. Si eres un profesional de la automoción, te esperamos. Visita inventario.pro para más información.